Hi, and welcome to Six Figure Signature Offers, the podcast for women in business who want to create brands that become the hot tamale of their industry and sold out scalable offers that bring home the bacon without burning them out. I'm your host, online business strategist Robin Birkin. I've gone from managing 8-figure marketing budgets and big teams to creating 2 multi-six-figure businesses in part-time hours by design. If you're ready to attract Cloud9 clients in droves, sell out your scalable offers, and not bring your laptop to the beach, then welcome, let's go. I'm super excited about this topic because I know that so many of you can relate. Have you ever, maybe you're just starting out, or maybe you feel like your engagement has tanked on Instagram, you're just speaking into a void. Maybe you feel like you are not on a winning streak right now and you're like, oh my God, how do I show up with that magnetism and that energy when actually it feels like nothing at all that I'm doing is working? Or maybe you have just come out of a launch. Maybe it wasn't your best launch ever and you are feeling a little bit deflated. You're feeling like your energy is low and you know that in order to create more sales, you need to show up with that certain level of magnetism. And you don't quite know how to do that. So that's what I'm talking about today, right? How to kickstart momentum in your business when you're feeling unmagnetic and kind of loserish. And here's what I'm going to let you know. Every single person in business has felt this way once, twice, 10, 100 times. Seriously, they have. And I can understand how it can get to your self-confidence. I understand that sometimes it can then feel hard to pick up that momentum, and even like that the next post can feel like such a mountain. And you can get really all up in your head about it and really paralyzed. So if you're sitting in feeling like you are paralyzed right now and you don't know how to show up and you're like, oh, like it feels really hard, it feels really icky, especially when you're in the business to business niche. And it can feel very imposter syndrome-y. Oh my God, am I a fraud? Like, do I really know what I'm talking about? And ultra specific here is people who teach Instagram and then feel like their Instagram isn't, getting the likes and engagement as it should. People who teach launching and then feel like they've just come off a launch that hasn't gone that well. If that is you, I see you in this. I've worked with so many clients who have been in this exact same situation. I've been in this situation when I felt like, as a life coach through the infertility niche, everything I touched in some ways I felt like turned to gold. In reality, it wasn't that way. Obviously, we always think the grass is greener on the other side. But, I would launch. Felt like I really easily had it dialed in that I'd have 45, 50 people per intake, right? My ads would work. I would go viral basically whenever I chose. I would put up a question sticker on Instagram and I would be inundated every time. Now, some of that is just the way that things like social media and online courses worked at that time. And some of that is because it's a business to consumer niche. So the topic for another day, I've now worked in both business to business and business to consumer. I've worked in corporate, I've worked in all different types of industries. People who are in business to consumer often look at business to business and they're like, oh my God, your business must be so easy because you can charge so much. The difference is that if you're in business to consumer, yeah, sure, you might, some people probably do, you might not be charging $20,000 for a product or a service, but the difference is that you are in far less competitive niches and that it is far easier for you to grow that top of funnel. Your ads are usually so much cheaper. It's much easier to grow your audience. So pros and cons, like I could literally, having had both niches, couldn't tell you that one was better over the other. They're just different, right? So when I changed niche, I went from pretty much being able to guarantee that, certain posts would reach 100,000 people, get me like 500 to 1,000 followers. Changing to the business to business niche, I can tell you right now, it has not been the case. And then when I've come out of time off in the business, so even just recently, I ended up I broke my cardinal sin of the school holidays, which is I usually have ads and a pre-launch running, but we were in the midst of massive changes in the business. So changed the whole team, changed our whole onboarding and a lot of our internal systems. We've rewritten all of our SOPs. We've even changed our accounting system, and it wasn't meant to be this way. It just happened this way. All sorts of different things have happened, right? Anyway, the long story short is that I broke my cardinal sin. I didn't have ads or a pre-launch running. I switched off my ads in like mid-December because I was even unsure about, well, what does my lead magnet look like? Hang on. And I had written my plan for 2026 back in November. I changed the whole plan. Call it the year of the snake. I don't know. Anyway, so coming back in February, like all of January, I was like, just let it go. Be where you are. Enjoy your life. Be with the kids. Everything's cool. Like, have a chill. It'll all be fine. But coming back, I guess I have the hindsight of just knowing how it goes and knowing exactly what to do. But my first coaching session in the mastermind with my mastermind ladies was called Back in Demand, how to kickstart demand in January, even if you're feeling like your most unmagnetic self. So I'm going to share with you a little bit about what I shared with those ladies. And obviously inside the mastermind, I've gone into specific tactics. But what I'm going to speak to you today about is 4 things that I do if I want to kickstart that feeling of magnetism and that momentum in my business. And demand is everything. Like, I cannot state enough. Demand is everything. You need demand. You want people reaching out. You want to activate your audience. You want to have enough growth in your audience. So if you feel like you don't have that, I'm going to share with you 4 things that are going to help you start to create that, okay? Number 1, have an everything is always working out for me mindset. So even just last week in the mastermind episode, I spoke to inside my mastermind. I go in and every week I have mentally committed to going in every week and celebrating all of my wins. And I literally start my celebration post with everything is always working out for me. And then I just list like 10 ways in which I am just so stoked, so grateful, so happy, feel like I'm winning, right? Sometimes we get caught up in our heads that we think that the wins have to be these massive, like I've just had a $100,000 launch. No way, man. You will have tiny, tiny wins in your everyday, in your business. You need to start shifting your mindset to an everything is working out for me attitude. It is contagious, let me tell you. I've got other people in the mastermind. They're like, I was inspired by Robin. So here's my list of everything that's working out for me. That's what you want. That's how you start to become magnetic. So I even have a task in my phone that I try to update every single day called Everything is Always Working Out for Me. And every day I'm like, what can I celebrate here? This worked for me even when I was a life coach. So when I was feeling, like I wasn't coping, it was all so hard. The first thing that I did to kickstart not feeling that way was I started a gratitude journal. Kind of similar thing. So I celebrate every single week in the mastermind that I am part of. All of my wins. Everything is always working out for me. And I show up on social media with an everything is always working out for me. Like, how can I feel generally happy and positive and celebrating and grateful for everything that is happening? Instead of, even just today, I logged into social media and someone said, I'm just going to be honest, I feel really burnt out in my business. And everybody has made a case in the last couple of years for being authentic online. I'm going to just come out and say there is a difference between being authentic and being someone who is commiserating and looking for commiseration online. Share scars, not wounds. If you, let's say just this creator, right? I'm feeling so burnt out. I don't feel great, blah. You're so much better off examining that, shifting the way that you are thinking, maybe wording that differently, but mostly coming back and saying, what do I need to do to shift out of that, and doing the internal work and coming back to your audience when you are not feeling burnt out and share the story of here's how I got my energy back and started to feel magnetic again, magnetic and energized in my business, something along those lines. That is how you start to cultivate magnetic energy. So I don't know if you've ever heard the phrase crabs in a bucket, right? So crabs in a bucket will almost like step, I don't know how they do it, like they step over each other. They don't help each other get out. They like actively drag each other down in their panic. And so when you think about it, when you see people online that just feel like they're never winning or always negative even, that feels low. That feels low energy. And nobody wants to attach themselves to someone who isn't winning. They want to attach themselves to someone who they feel is going to drag them up rather than drag them down. So you want to show up with an everything is working out for me attitude. It doesn't have to be the big shiny wins. It can be, oh my God, I had the most delicious coffee today. Oh my God, my kids went into school today. Oh my God, I've got the day off. I get to go to the shops in the middle of the day. I just did the best meditation. Whatever it is, win. Right? And also embody the transformation that you teach. If you are someone who teaches emotional regulation, show yourself showcasing the skills that you have in emotional regulation. Or let's say you teach breath work, show yourself doing breath work and then feeling great after. So if you are someone who teaches, let's go back to Instagram, you don't have to share like, oh my God, I got 1,000 new followers today, but you can share, oh my God, I just changed my bio and I'm obsessed. You can share, oh my God, I've just created a new freebie that I know you are going to love. You can share, oh my goodness, I just published and scheduled 30 trial reels. There are so many ways to showcase that you are winning outside of just what you think are those like external gratification wins. So start off with an everything is working for me attitude. Guarantee it's going to change your life. Do it for 1 week. You will feel instantly, like after 7 days, you will feel more magnetic just by doing that one thing. Number 2, level up your standards. What are your life standards, right? Wake up early. Like wake up at the time you said you were going to wake up. Do the things you said you were going to do. Did you say you were going to meditate today? So meditate today. Did you say you were going to work out? Work out. So one of the things I do most mornings on social media, I wake up at like 4:45 most mornings and I share a picture of me waking up at 4:45 most mornings. Do you know why? Because number one, I'm up at that time because it creates safety and consistency in my audience. They know that most mornings I'm going to be like, hey, how are you? Good morning. But also it showcases that I'm a winner. I'm not someone who's waking up at 10 a.m. every morning and who's not doing what I said I was going to do. I'm the person who wakes up and gets going and starts the day. So level up your standards. Go get yourself dressed. Make your bed. Do those simple things that level up your standards in your life. Number 3, the number one way to get momentum and get everything moving in your business is take big action. Take lots of action, right? So if you are feeling unmagnetic, you're feeling a bit loserish, and you're like, it's not working, just take lots of action, okay? Comment on people's Instagram posts. Pitch your lead magnet. Start some ads. Post prolifically. Even if it's shit posting or rehashing some old stuff. You need to care less about the quality and just get over the hump of getting going and getting into the rhythm of posting, showing up, selling, talking to your audience, etc. That is how you get into momentum. So in any area of your life, let's say you want to exercise and you're like completely fallen off the bandwagon, cool. Start with 5 minutes every day. Just start, okay? Start with action and don't overthink it. And number four is stop doing things that don't work and expecting a different result. So let's say you do all of these things. Let's say you started off right now today, you're like, I feel pretty unmagnetic and kind of loserish. But you're like, fine, I'm going to have an everything is working out for me attitude. I'm going to level up my standards. Like, I'm going to be the person that does the things I said I was going to do. I'm not going to be a wanna, I'm going to be a doer. You take action, you take loads of it. You're like, that's it. We're just going to get out of our own way. We're not going to overthink it. We're going to take lots of action. But you get 30, 90 days off to the races. You've done all of those things and it's not working. You got to find out then what's the problem here. If you then get 6 months, a year down the line and it's still not working, cue more burnout, going back in a circle to feel loserish and unmagnetic. If you then need help, go get that help. But figure out what it is that you're doing that isn't working and then fix it, right? So if what you're doing isn't working and you can't find the answer on your own, maybe you looked on YouTube, you got a coach, whatever it is, but find the answer and fix it. Do not keep going around in circles with busy work and doing things that do not work, because that's a fast track way to, once again, feel unmagnetic. Thank you so much for listening to today's episode. Now, very quickly before you go, if you're like, tell me more about how I build demand, tell me more about how I start to kickstart this momentum, then hop over to my Instagram because I have a free case study. It's going to share with you some of the core tools on how you can really start to ramp up momentum. It's a behind the scenes case study of how we created this snowball effect inside our funnel that created 1,500 leads in just 3 weeks as part of one of our pre-launches. I know you're going to love it. So head to my Instagram because then that's where you'll find all of the details. I cannot wait for you to grab it. Anyway, have the best day and I will speak to you soon. Bye for now.